Okay, what's up, Average Skeptic? Thanks for sending me that video. You're the first person to ever send me a video talking about one of my videos. Actually, this one girl did, but it had nothing to do with philosophy or anything like that. Okay, number one, I'm not angry that my parents that my family's Buddhist. I'm angry that Buddhists don't believe in God. And if my brother tries to tell me that he doesn't believe in God, I'm gonna have to have a YouTube battle with him. So, anyways, let me explain myself a little bit. I didn't say that everybody's God were real, except for the Jewish God, except for the Greek gods are aliens. The Hindu gods are aliens too. If you read the Mahabharata, chapters 8 through 13, I think it is, of the Mahabharata, called the Bhagavad Gita, and if you're Buddhist, you should know a little bit about Hinduism, because Buddhism came from Hinduism. It talks about the great wars that happened in India thousands of years ago. The Mahabharata was written about 4000 BC, around that time. And when they wrote them, they finally wrote them after talking them through word of mouth for another 10,000 years before that, or something like that. They don't know how many, maybe 5,000 years before that. So they're talking about these wars that happened at least 10,000 years ago in the Mahabharata. And in those wars, they describe nuclear explosions, they describe planes doing battle, they describe missiles, and that they completely destroyed the whole civilization. And there you go. And all of the societies of the world have that same exact story. The Hopis do. The Hopis believe, and the Navajo believe, that we're in the fourth world. We destroyed ourselves 3 times before, and we've had a world civilization. You've heard of the Tower of Babel. We all spoke the same language in the entire world, and then something crazy happened, and then we all spoke different worlds, different languages. Anyways, so that is what I'm talking about. Anunnaki, not Anunnaki, Anunnaki. 250,000 years ago, they came here, and they mixed Homo erectus with Homo Anunnaki. Now, it's called the missing link. All of a sudden, we had Homo erectus, which is caveman. It's nothing like us. It's sloped forehead, monkey men, 4 feet tall. All of a sudden, there's Homo sapien. So where's the monkey boy that's between Homo erectus and Homo sapien? There's no evidence of that. And this happened 250,000 years ago, according to fossil record. Also, 250,000 years ago in South Africa, they have gold mines that are dated to 250,000 years ago in South Africa that are gigantic. And that, along with the Bible of Mesopotamia, the Enuma Elish and the those ones. They talk about the Anunnaki, the aliens who come down, and they knew about all of the planets. If you even look at one of their stone tablets that they dug up, that's 6,000 years old, you can see on the stone tablet all of the 9 planets. How did they know about all those 9 planets? The Anunnaki told them. That's who they know. The Anunnaki, the aliens who came down here. The pyramids. You cannot make pyramids. I've never been to the pyramids, but I've been to other places that you cannot make. There's this place called Sacsayhuaman, right outside of Cuzco. These stones are bigger than your room. Each stone is bigger than your room, stacked up on top of each other, 3 stones high. When the Spanish people came, they took as much of it apart. They took 4/5 of it apart, and then they gave up because they couldn't dismantle the rest of it at all. They couldn't even dismantle it. So how were those Indians going to put it together? It's because they didn't. The aliens did. How did the aliens do it? Were they big and strong? Well, they were, but they used sound vibration to levitate the rocks. If you're anywhere near Miami, you should go to a place called the Coral Castle. There are these huge rocks, and nobody knows how this guy made them, and he made it from levitation. But anyways, that's not really what this whole video is about. This main video is about, well, also in the crop circles too. Nobody can make crop circles. We can't make crop circles. If you look at the crop circles and you do a little microscope into it, the grass is bent. It's not cracked. It's not bent like how Doug and Dave did it, and they bent it down and it cracked. It's actually burnt. So it shows that there was like a microwave heat going on. You can see even the carbon crystals, right, or some kind of crystal from one of the elements boiled out of it and just bubbled in little bubbles, like when you boil it and then it freezes after it bubbles. They found dead porcupines, microwaved, dead, and there's never any other dead animals in there because the animals run, but not the porcupine. The porcupine just sits there and balls up. And then they examine them, and they're boiled from the inside out. There's videos of lights going around, and then all of a sudden the crop circle goes down. You can't make an intricate crop circle of that size, 100 meters wide, with all those intricate, perfectly like that, in the matter of 1 hour between when the people are there, and then all of a sudden it's there. People have miracles. Look at my teeth. Teeth are totally together. I used to have gaped teeth. One day they all came together. I wake up, all those gums falling down my teeth. That happened 3 days after a crack that went all the way across my windshield, completely disappeared once, that I had 3 years. If you don't want to believe and have your head in the sand, you're going to be left behind. And you're going to be, you're not going to be as happy as if somebody who believes. Now, as far as man, I wasted way too much time. As far as control, God being control, yeah, there's so many Christians and people who are stupid. But just because they believe in God doesn't mean that they don't have a monopoly on God. They don't. Just because fundamentalist Christians believe in God doesn't mean that the people who wrote the Old Testament and Jesus doesn't mean they're talking about the same God that those guys are talking about. Doesn't mean that they're talking about the same God that I'm talking about. When I'm talking about God, because I'm talking about the universe as one organism, as a living organism, a sentient organism that knows itself. The sun knows itself. The sun thinks, talks, has feelings, knows you. The earth is alive. And they all communicate. It's a family out there. Earth saying, how's it going to the sun? Sun, how's it going to the earth? Everything's engineered, everything's alive, and that's God. Everything is alive. And that's what God is. And that's what Jesus was talking about. That's what all the smart people in the Old Testament were talking about. And that's not what fundamentalist Christians are talking about. If you want to talk about control, well, that's what the earth is all about. That's what being human and being primitive is all about. Yeah, the Romans controlled us. Back in the year 374 in Nicaea, northern Italy, they had the council up there where they decided they wanted to annex Christianity because it was becoming powerful, and they wanted to take Christianity and make their own Bible and only choose the books that had all the control, where they can control the people the best. And until then, everybody believed in reincarnation. In Europe, everybody believed in reincarnation. And they decided that they weren't going to believe in reincarnation, so they took all the books about reincarnation out. Because if you believe in reincarnation, then people aren't scared. And you want to make people scared and scared of devil and scared of hell, And then they started selling rights to heaven for money, and that's how they paid for the St. Peter's Basilica. But that's the Roman civilization. That's not God. That's not Jesus. That's not Christianity. Pure Christianity. That's not God. That's just politics. Politics, the guy you're talking about, that Christian preacher, that's just a crazy Christian preacher. That's not what I'm talking about. Those guys, see, the problem is Christians, they have they get this like stranglehold on God, and they speak God, this, God, that, and they're all into God. And then when somebody like me comes around and says Buddhists should believe in God, they think that I'm like one of them, and I'm not. Buddhists should believe in God. Don't be an atheist. You know what atheists believe? You know what Buddhists believe? You know what my brother, the Buddhist, believes? And my brother's a hardcore Buddhist. He's fluent in Tibetan. I haven't talked to him for years because he's in a freaking retreat. And even my brother, the fucking Buddhist, he believes? He believes when you die and you achieve nirvana, it's just, he doesn't want to talk about it. He doesn't have an idea. And that's not good. You got to expand your awareness. You got to expand all of it. You gotta go when you die. You get, and you get in nirvana. You move on, and you graduate, fly around the universe, become a space god, whatever. I mean, I'm out of time, so I can't extrapolate anymore. But that's my response to you, average skeptic. What do you guys have to say now, huh?